Hi, my name is Chrissy Charlemagne. I'm 27 and I'm a missionary. I first felt called to missions when I was 6 years old, and the Lord gave me a dream and told me that's what He wanted me to do. But during my childhood, I had some traumatic events happen, and so because of those events, I kind of got derailed from following that calling. And then when I was 13, I moved from New York to Florida, and that kind of messed with me a little bit as well. And so because of that, by the time I was 17 years old, I wanted nothing to do with God, nothing to do with the church. And I went to a time of rebellion, and I was practicing witchcraft and speaking to spirits and reading tarot cards and all the things that I was taught not to do. And during this time, I just hit a severe depression, and it felt like suicide was the only way out. And but something in me told me to cry out to God and to ask Him for help, and I did. And God showed up, and He spoke to me, and He told me how much He loved me, and He reminded me of the calling He had on my life. And so I received Christ, and I followed that calling to Bethany College of Missions, which is now Bethany Global University. And while I was there, I was able to learn about anthropology and theology and how they work together to reach different cultures. And I did a 13-month internship in Marseille, France. And during this time, I was able to visit Belfast in Northern Ireland. And I just felt that that was where God was calling me to go next. And so I graduated in 2015 with a dual degree in theology and intercultural studies. And now I'm pursuing going to Ireland full-time as a missionary. Belfast is a city that is very much divided. Several years ago, starting in the 60s, the Troubles began, and this was a time from the early 60s until 1998 that the Protestants and the Catholics were at war with each other. Before I was born, my parents were going to a church called Suffering Presbyterian Church, and this is now All Souls Community Church. And I grew up in this church. I knew everyone knew me because my parents were very involved in the church. And so a huge part of my childhood was spent in these walls. And I feel like I really had the foundation of my relationship with God set in this place. So it's such an amazing opportunity and experience to be back here and to be able to call this place home again. So as Every Nation Church, what we're trying to do is come in and through the love of Christ, just heal these wounds that are still so raw and so open in these two people groups, and to just really show who Christ is and how He loves. A few of the ministries I plan to be involved with are campus ministry, and just being a small group leader in the campus ministry they have, as well as worship ministry. I play piano and I sing, and so I'll be helping out with worship ministry as well. And another thing I plan to be involved with is prayer and deliverance ministry, where they're working with people who have issues with mental health, and we have a Christian psychologist that comes in and helps us with that as well.
A little bit about Chrissy's involvement here at Every Nation Belfast. Chrissy will be working as a youth minister here, working with some of the teenagers in our city, around our community, and at our church.
So my heart is really for the people of Belfast. I feel that God has such a calling on these people, and they've just been so torn down and broken down by everything that's happened just in their past and now in the present, and they just don't know how to deal with it. And it breaks my heart to see such wonderful, kind, warm people at each other's throats. And so I just really feel that God wants to bring healing and reconciliation to these people, and that His heart is to raise up missionaries from Belfast. I feel that God has such a heart for these people, and He has in the past. And I think about St. Patrick and how he witnessed to these people and brought the gospel to them. And I feel that's my heart too, is to bring the gospel to these people so that they can bring the gospel to other people in the world.